Hey, what the hell's going on, you guys? It's Triple Play Negative AE, and welcome back to another episode of Vagante. Today we are doing things just a little bit different, and the reason why is because the level editor just came out, and so I wanted to hop in, kind of do a quick tutorial maybe on the level editing tools and kind of show you guys what's going on. Because when I jumped into this level editing thing today, I did not know what to do. I had to sit there for a little bit and just kind of figure out what's going on, like how to do things, how to like place blocks. Even I was confused. So hopefully with this video I can bestow a little bit of knowledge upon you. If you're having trouble with the level editor, maybe I can answer a few questions. If you have any questions that arise that you see that I don't answer during this video, please leave them in the comments. I'll try my best to answer them as I go. So this is the first iteration of the level editor, so this is probably subject to change, I imagine. I don't know if the way that the level editor is right now will stay. It might just be the same forever, which I would be okay with because the level editor we have is really good. So enough of me rambling. Let's jump into some stuff here. So I just made this level. I'll kind of jump into this level so you can see what I've been able to do and what I'll be showing you how to do. So I made this level. This level took me about 50 minutes to create. And that was just me kind of thinking of like a cool level idea or like what I want my level to look like even. And I came up with this. So it's cool. The main path is just to go up this ladder and kill this Gorgonite and then get to the exit. But there's a bunch of little secret paths too that you can go down. So like for example, you can go over here and there's like a chest, right? And you can get this chest before you end up going to the next area. There's also like, if we go down here, every so often it does freeze like that, which is kind of annoying, but it's whatever. I'll move that mouse out of the way. There's also a thing down here where if you make like precise jumps all the way down here, you can create, or not create, but get these two things over here. And hopefully that prepares you a little bit for the journey to come. Those chests are random, so you can't really control what's in them, but I think it's a pretty cool level nonetheless. I made this, like I said, 40-50 minutes. It's kind of easy, and that was with me having trouble figuring out how to use it. So let's exit out of here. We'll go back to the character select so I can kind of show you what's going on, and hopefully you guys will learn a thing or two. So when we press F9, there's a little thing down here that says create new world. You can name your world whatever, but I'm just going to keep it default for the video tutorial sake. The first thing you're going to want to do, obviously you can see that we're on a black screen here. Not very helpful for making a level. If we go up here and we click new room, or you can press F1 as like a shortcut and it'll bring it up here. You can see a little drop down menu comes down here. All you gotta do, click on that blank room button and it'll pop up with this list. Now this is confusing in and of itself. I don't even know what any of those were when I first opened this up. I believe what this is this is a categorization thing. So, for example, I can have multiple level Act 1s. I can have multiple Act 2s, just like in the actual game. You know how there's like there's Caves 1, Caves 2, Caves 3. You can have like Act 1, Act 1, and then have like 3 levels in Act 1. Act 2, have 3 levels in Act 2, you know? And have it set up like that. You can also label if it's like a tutorial level that you're making. But for simplicity's sake, let's just start with Act 1, hit create, and what's going to happen is you're going to pop up with something akin to this. You're going to see this like little box here. This is your level. And as you can see, it's pretty small right now. It's not very many blocks wide. So there's a way that you can fix that. So right off the bat, what you want to do is you want to go to more and click to resize act. This means that you can make this level as big or small as you want. You can make it less than this. You can make it, like 8, make it a perfect square, or you can bump it up to 40 or like 30 or something. If we do like 30, 25, I think would be a pretty good level. And boom, now our level's huge, right? We have so much space to work with. We can do whatever we want. Awesome. The next thing that I have to mention is you should see this little screen. You're either going to see this or you're going to see this. Either way, you want to click on this, tiles. There should be a little tools bar over here. You click on tiles, and that's where you're going to begin making your level. So the most important tab up here is midground. Midground is all the tiles that your character can interact with. So if I want to make ground, if I want to make ladders, as you can see, there's like little ladders over here. If I want to make little anything that my character can interact with or is in the same plane as my character, I want this. This is where it would be. So let's just make a basic level. And the way that we do that is we select a block that we want. So what block? I think I want like a grassy block, right? So I have my grassy block selected. It doesn't matter which grassy block you select. I could select this one. I could select this one. It doesn't matter. What'll happen is the game automatically selects what it thinks you want. So for example, if I just paint a bunch, as you can see, it doesn't matter what thing I have. I'm just painting with this one grass block, and it's automatically kind of creating land for me. So that way I can, draw. So boom. Now I have this cool little land area that I've just painted randomly, and you can like fill this in if you'd like, but it's not that it matters too much. Unless the person has like phase through walls or something. I don't know. Sweet. So we have all that all set up. Now, if you'll notice, when we go over to click test room here at the top, you can see a couple options: new room, open room, save room, test room, close editor, more, and workshop. More is where we can obviously resize our room. There's also test room. When you click on test room, it's going to give you this error. It's going to say, hey, you need at least one entrance tile. The way that you fix that is there's these two little things. If you zoom in here, these two little doors, this door and this door. This is your entrance door. This is your exit door. Took me forever to figure that out for some reason, but I figured it out. So all you got to do is place that somewhere on the level. You could place it way up here if you wanted to. Your character will just fall like a bunch of feet until it hits the ground, which is, it's whatever. So that's cool. The next thing you want to do is place your exit, because it won't let you test until you have an exit as well. So make sure you click on this other one here and place it somewhere at the end of your level. So that way that's said and done. And then if you want, you can add like ladders or something. Like, so if I want to get up there, I can add ladders to get up there. So that way I can do that. The next thing that you want to do, or the next thing that you can do, is you can add like background stuff. So for example, if I wanted a bunch of wall here, it's not a good example. I want like this wall, because that wall looks more natural. That other wall looks like concrete and not good. So I want this kind of like wall here, because I want it to signify that maybe we're going to a new area. So I just have like that, and maybe it's like cut off in different places, So I'm just painting stuff. The way that you would like erase stuff is if you hold down right click and kind of scroll over something, you can erase it. Make sure that you're in the layer that your thing is in. So for example, if I wanted to erase background stuff, I would have to hold right click while I'm on background, the background tab. If I wanted to erase midground stuff, I would have to be in midground, and I can erase midground stuff. So just make sure you're in that tab and you should be all set. So that's just the basics of painting a level. It's pretty easy, actually. I mean, if you wanted to select more than one block, so for example, if you wanted to place two items or two things, you could select both of them and then just go into your level and place it there. So that's something that you can do. Just make sure that the game will let you select as much as you want. So for example, you can select all of this and it'll paint with all that. So now I'm painting with that selection that I just did there. So just be careful what you're selecting, and you should be all good. The next thing that you want to do is make sure that this button is selected before you even do anything, before you save your level, before you do anything. Make sure that your first room has first room selected. That way the game knows that this is the room that you want to be the first room. There's open sky and open sides. So now that we have an entrance placed and an exit placed, we can preview our level. So we can go into test room. We can go into our unnamed room here. Unnamed level. Kind of go in. Now that we've kind of added an entrance and an exit, we can go from point A to point B. Don't go through the door though. because it'll bring you back to the end, to the beginning, or to the, not to the beginning, to the main lobby thing, and you don't want that. So before you leave the level, just press F9. As you can see on the top right, it says F9 to swap back to editor view. Boom. Done. Now, one thing that you'll notice is that if you have a level like this, you can just like run off the edge and kill yourself, which is kind of dumb. You don't necessarily want your players doing that, but that's something that you can do. So if you want to turn that off, and you don't want your people to die when they hit the edge, you can turn off open sides, or turn on open sides, and you can see that it will open up the sides there for you. Now, know that it does look weird, obviously, doing that. So just make sure that if you do that, you're prepared for what it's going to look like this. So just be careful. There's also, as you can see, a black thing up in the sky like that, and our level is kind of dark. So to fix that, if you wanted to, you could also put open sky as well. Now when we test our room, our level is going to be completely lit by sunlight because we don't have like a top black bar like providing a shadow over our whole level. So that's cool. I'm going to turn off open sides because I don't like the way that it looks. You can also do has trees. Basically, that makes your level look like the forest, as you can see. Boom. Now I have trees. It also makes your level look pretty interesting, which is why I think it's a pretty cool effect. Like, it gives your level light rays or god rays. I fucking love that, dude. It's awesome. So that's cool. So that's something that you would use on every level, but it's something that's awesome nonetheless. The next thing is you can choose the sky type. Right now it's on caves. We can also select forest. We can also select like black if we just want to pitch black and nothing else. Clouds is one of my personal favorites. I really like the fourth world clouds. They're really cool. Falling, I actually don't know what this looks like. Oh, dude, that's fucking awesome. Yo, that's sick. I actually haven't like tried that yet, so that's cool. That's awesome. I want to make a level with that now. So the next thing is you want ambience. You want like music that you can do. You can just do like, you know, Catacombs theme. And now, whenever we test our room, it'll have that music playing. You know, so that's cool. You can make that music anything that you want. So for example, if you want the music to be the credits theme, you can make it the credits theme. You can also make the shop. You can also make it the shop theme. And now it's the shop theme. So I think that's a pretty cool thing to do. Last kind of part of the tutorial here, I think we're almost done. Is when you go to this second part over here, the entities, it'll pop up with a bunch of stuff that you can do. Obviously, this is where you would place all of the things that are stuff that you want to put all around your level, right? So maybe I want spikes there, so you're not, you know, over jumping for some reason. I don't know. That might be a little bit too much of a challenge or something. I don't know. But you can place spikes. You can place spike traps all over the place. It really doesn't matter what you place. You can place anything. Pendulums, boulders. You can place boulder traps. There's a bunch of cool stuff here. The one thing that I wanted to mention, though, is if you place a chest, sometimes it'll do this nonsense where it'll be like way off the ground for no reason, and I don't know why it does that. But if you want to move like anything, so like if I wanted to move this spike over here, you just click on this or press W while you're in your entities browser, and it'll let you move around everything that has like a square around it. So I can move this chest so that way it's like on the ground, so it doesn't look weird. So I think that's pretty cool. That's something that you can do if something's not working out, or you want the spikes to be in a very specific situation, so you have to make very specific jumps. You can do that and kind of make it work. There's also something called doodads. You can add crates from this menu. You can add steam or streams. So like, for example, if you wanted like a waterfall happening in your level somewhere, You could do this and just have it, go into some block or something. I think that's pretty cool. There's also like torches you can place that are helpful. Now, in my level, I had little wisps floating around, and you can add those right here, little fireflies. So if you want your level to be illuminated, we'll keep the open sky thing not happening. But these provide like organic light. So if you don't want to place torches everywhere, you can just have little fireflies flying around, lighting your level, which I think is pretty sick. So that's something to keep in mind. And then, as far as I know, there's no way to influence what's in the chest. That might be something that they do later on, but as of right now, it's just kind of like a random thing, and I kind of like that. It adds some like roguelike-ish elements to your level, which is cool. Where everything's different. Shut up, shop music. This is also where you would add your enemies to, so I can add like a goblin here, and you don't need to place them on the ground because they do fall to the ground if they're land enemies. So just keep that in mind. You can place like a slime and a guy there. All right. I mean, I think that comes to an end. The way that you would finish this out is make sure you click Save Room. When you click Save Room, it'll save your level for you, so you can come back at any time. You can close out of the game and do whatever you want. Make sure you give your room a name. You can give your name it something like Hellfire. And the reason why you want to give your room a name is because when you start the level, so like if I test the room right now, you can see, boom, Hellfire. Like, that's the name of my fucking level. So that's cool. Like if you had like a lava thing going on or whatever was the case, you could name it that. And then you can give your world a name, like your entire world. You can say, hey, this is what I believe will appear on your Steam Workshop if you were to upload this to Steam Workshop, and then you would just provide your name and then a description about your level, so that way people know what it's about. And then you would go to Steam Workshop and click New Workshop Item, and then it would kind of make that workshop item there for you, so that way you can share your creation with the world. If there's any questions you have whatsoever about can you shut up, shop music? Thank you. If you have any questions whatsoever, let me know in the comments. I'll try and answer it to the best of my ability. Again, I just started working with this myself. This is just a lot of the stuff that I learned, or that I wish I knew when I first opened this up here. You can also mess with the gravity too, which I think is pretty cool. Make it like way heavier or way lighter than normal, which could create for some crazy like space levels, or like if you use that dropping or falling thing and you decrease the gravity, I think that would be pretty sick. And I might do something with that later. Yeah, as far as I know, there's no checkpoint or anything like that. Obviously, I just want to see. That doesn't work, does it? I don't think that the checkpoints work. Let me know if the checkpoints work, because I don't know if they do or not. This is where you create like a healing station. I guess you can create like a healing station and a checkpoint at the same time, and I don't know if that works or not. Let me know in the comments. What you guys figure out? What you guys discover? If you guys have made any levels already, let me know. I want to play them. I think it'd be sick. And like, oh my goodness, dude, there's so much potential for this. There's so much like experimentation to be done. So it'll be interesting, to say the least, to kind of mess around with this and see what's going on. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, you guys.